Hello, this is Intuitive Anna Priscilla. It's been a little while. I've been taking a little psychic rest, recharging my batteries. Doing readings all the time can become very draining. So sometimes it's important just to step away and do more mundane things for a little bit. So what I wanted to address today is the question of when you come to the tarot with a question and you get an answer that you feel is totally irrelevant to the question that you've asked. And why does this happen? So in my experience over the years of reading cards, what typically happens is you have a question in your mind that you're really focused on or maybe obsessed with at the moment and really want some guidance as to which way to go or what you need to do. But you spread the cards and the cards are telling you, well, something totally different. And sometimes you'll just pick up the cards and go, oh, these cards are not on today, or I'm not reading them right, or, just get annoyed with the situation. But actually, this is not the case. What the cards are telling you is that there's another issue here. There's something maybe deeper that you need to look at, or there's another issue that you haven't even considered that might have a bearing on the question you're asking. So, for example, you could be asking a question about a relationship that you're considering entering, and you get a card all about your job. You get a reading about jobs and focusing on work. And so what that's telling you is that at the moment, the relationship is not the most important thing, that perhaps for this relationship to work, you need to work on your relation to work. Perhaps you're working too much, and perhaps this would bar you from entering into a full-time commitment with somebody. Or perhaps it's telling you that maybe you'll meet someone at work, that maybe work is where you should be looking and not where you think you are looking right now. So there's many different times when this can happen, many instances where you're going to get another answer and you're going to go, oh, the cards don't work, the cards aren't telling me what I want to know. But actually the cards are bringing in their higher wisdom and giving you an answer that you really need to look at first. So it can be very frustrating, particularly when you're first learning to read cards, because you're expecting a nice clear-cut answer and the cards are kind of, jerking you around a little bit, and you're thinking, well, this is rubbish, I'm just going to stop this, and these cards don't work. But we have to remember that when we're coming to the cards, we're asking for higher wisdom. We're not necessarily asking to hear what we want to hear, because we already know what we think. So I'm going to give you an instance of this. It is a political reading, and I'm resisting doing predictive readings around politics because, quite frankly, I'm kind of tired of hearing about it all. Maybe towards the election I'll do a little bit more of that type reading. Although ironically, I'm going to use that type of a reading to illustrate this lesson today. So about 2 weeks ago, I did a reading asking about whether ex-President Trump would be granted immunity from prosecution by the Supreme Court. He'd already been denied it by the Court of Appeals in Washington, D.C. So I spread the cards, and this is what I got. I got the 5 of Pentacles. I got the 10 of Pentacles. And I got the Tower. So, the thing is, you could read the Tower superficially and think, well, no, this is not going to happen. And that may be true. But you also have to look at the cards you got. So these cards are to do with money and wealth. And this was before the judgment in the New York fraud case came down. So what this was saying was, it wasn't giving me an answer about immunity from prosecution. That would be more of the justice card, something like that. It was giving me an answer about his financial situation. So it took me a minute to step back and think, okay, what is this trying to tell me? Now, if you're not familiar with these cards, I'll show you the Rider-Waite cards. So this is the Five of Pentacles, and here you can see these people are out in the snow, they're destitute, they're shut out here, they're not doing too well. This is typically a card of some kind of financial distress or losing your money, being shut out. And then the second card here is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is the card of established wealth. You can see there's property, there's a family, there's an older gentleman here, there's a younger couple, there's their children. So this is family money, inherited wealth, well established. This is the ultimate card for financial security and stability, and also having an empire, having built up something over quite a long time. So here you have two cards which are telling us there's a loss to this financial stability, financial security, this estate. And we're getting the Tower. So the Tower is coming to destroy this financial security that you can see here, and also leading to some kind of financial difficulties. And the Tower is a major arcana card. So without the Tower, maybe this would be financial difficulties, but the Tower is here destroying it all. This is a big, big blow. It's also a blow to the foundations, and here you have this huge tower, and you think about Trump Tower and kind of the buildings that are involved in this empire. So this reading was done before the decision of the New York fraud case, where Trump was fined many, many millions of dollars. So what this was telling me was that it wasn't at all about the immunity case. It was about his financial empire falling, being destroyed, or being hit by this lightning bolt. And once this hits, there's not a lot you can do. And here the crown is toppling. So this is also, him being at the peak of this whole empire. So what the cards were telling me is that this, and then remember, this was weeks ago before this financial settlement came down. So what the cards were telling me was that the immunity case is not really on the cards right now, and it still has not been determined completely by the Supreme Court, but that what was coming, and what was even more important, was this financial settlement that he received from the New York fraud case. So this was a very good example, a very dramatic example of saying, hey, this is the real thing he needs to focus on, or we need to focus on, and this is the real thing, the really important thing that's going to come down. The immunity case has already been decided on one level, and they're still considering it on another. But this is going to be decided very definitely. So that was an example there of how you can ask one question that you think is interesting and get a totally different answer. So this was a predictive reading. It did say that this is coming down. It's going to be a devastating decision. But taking these two cards, if I had read this as immunity, it wouldn't have made sense. But because these are both cards of money, I had to think, okay, what are these cards concerned with? And it's totally about financial loss. So take a second look when you do a reading and you think, well, this doesn't make any sense. Don't just throw it back in and shuffle the cards and pull some more again, because the first cards that you get are what the cards are trying to tell you, basically. And this is something we all do. We don't like the answer, or, oh, this doesn't make sense, I'm going to do another reading. Don't do that, because this is the answer you got. And you'll never get a clear answer. If you keep doing that, you're going to be more and more and more confused. I've done that myself in the past, and now if it doesn't make sense with you, just sit with it for a few days and keep looking at it, and actually really ask yourself, what is this card telling me? I didn't get the Justice card. I didn't get things like that. I got these money cards. So I hope that made some sense. If you have any further questions, you can put them in the comments box. I possibly will be doing some political readings, but quite honestly, I'd rather be teaching you at the moment. And if I do, it will be as a teaching moment, because I really want you to be able to use the cards yourself and to not rely on predictions that other people are making. And I've also learned over the years that predictions may be true at the moment that you make them, because you're only reading that particular moment. But there are many factors involved in any kind of prediction that you can't even see sometimes at the time. So I'm very reticent to make hardcore predictions that I know a lot of people are out there doing, because it can also mean something totally different, as you can see from this reading. So let's just keep trying to learn how to read the cards and see how things fall. So thank you for listening. If you like my little videos, please like and subscribe. I'll be back again soon, but I'm trying to make videos that are a little bit more substantive and more instructive for you, so that you can own your own lives and learn how to read the cards more for yourself. Because again, you're responsible for your decisions. No card reader can tell you what to do. They can just give you a picture of the lay of the land, basically. And then it's really up to you to decide what to do with that information. You do have free will. Now, having said that, you can see here, this was pretty much on the cards. But of course, that was an outcome of many months and many other factors coming together at that one moment. So thanks again. I'll be back soon. Get some sleep. I know it's hard on full moon, particularly such a strong one. And enjoy your day.